humankind from an evolution perspective. There was a time where we used to use adhesive strip to hang things. So since simple machines came into our lives, like the wedge and the wheel, we have been on this journey of creating a symbiosis with technology. We became and we are Homo sapien, the tool makers. This is what we do. This is a part of who we are as a species. What we've been doing since this invention of simple machines, furthermore into increasing levels of complexity and digital ability, is finding ways to take old techniques and amplify and externalize them in a way that we reduce calories. So we don't have to put as much into something to get it to happen. So we can advance much more quickly. We could save those calories for other things, like maybe advancing something else or being a little bit more alert when you need to help somebody. But the rapid advance of technology in the last 300 years, as well as sort of a growing disconnection with the planet, has taken us out of line with what this technology is really useful for. And we've started to consume it for all the wrong reasons. Consume it so much so that it's starting to consume us. I'm sure each one of you has gone, oh my God, where did the last 3 hours go? All I did was check photos on Facebook. This is an example of getting to a point where the technology consumes us. So I made mention, I just said something about dominator culture, I think. The dominator culture is sort of this ideal that we're here to take things apart, we're here to make things ours. You can sort of accord it along with monotheistic idea that everything on the planet is for us. And with this advances in dominator culture and this rapid expansion of technology, we found ourselves very, very disconnected from the planet, very disconnected from nature. And because of this, a lot of people have begun to reject technology in a lot of ways, seeing maybe technology as the reason why we're so disconnected. And to a degree, it is, because we've let it kind of get ahead of us and we don't know what we're using it for. So then you get people saying, well, I don't do this. I don't want a computer, I don't own a computer. You know, I don't spend time on Facebook, I deleted my Facebook, which is really just avoiding the problem as opposed to addressing it. To me, I feel that learning how to utilize technology is evolutionarily vital. There's so much change happening in our culture at any given moment that unless we have some sort of technology to help us facilitate things quickly and easily, we're going to be too fatigued all the time, mentally and physically. But the trick with that is, again, learning how to use it, learning why you're using it. And to become constructive with your uses of technology, I think that means connecting again with your nature, like your inner being. Then you start to understand what your purpose is, what your intention is. And so then you can start choosing how and what kind of technology to use to advance that. Whether it be organizing events using Facebook, whether it be like brainwave entrainment is the other thing that I'm going to talk about later, or the idea of using YouTube to distribute videos, learning how to use it to advance what is right for you. Like, I'm a writer, and moving towards using a computer instead of a pen and paper did take a lot of the visceral nature of my writing away. Now I can produce so much more. So this is me learning how to use technology to advance the things that I know are valuable to me, like each one of us can do. When we start to look at technology as tools to advance ourselves, like I had just said, we put our own evolution in our hands, because we get to choose what kind of technology we use and how it affects the planet, which we're getting very good at doing, both destructive and constructive. And this idea of advancing our own evolution is something presented by a guy named Juan Enriquez at a TED Talk, I think 2 years ago, where he presented an idea, and this idea was that we're evolving into a new species. He calls this new species Homo evolutus, an organism that is directly responsible for facilitating its own evolution. And we're at a very minor level of that now, in a bunch of different ways. But he goes to the extent to say things like growing tissues in a petri dish to use as a transplant, or using technology or advanced robotics to like augment certain abilities so you can run faster, lift heavier things. We're pretty far away from that now, maybe, but it's important to consider the fact that we do have the ability to be in line with advancing our own evolution, whatever that means. So if we can find out what it is within us that has meaning by connecting back to something a little bit more grounded than the rapid advance of technology for entertainment and useless purposes like stumble upon or whatever, we can start to connect again with what I had said before is like our purpose. And when we can learn to define our purpose and reconnect with our inner nature, we can start shaving off all these unnecessary technologies that are responsible for the observation of destructive consumption that you can see in your own life and in the lives of others and our society. And then we can start focusing towards developing technology that can better advance, facilitate, and augment techniques that require a lot of calories to do, pushing our own population, our own organism faster, more efficiently towards a direction we have chosen, as opposed to some wild number of potentials. So, in conclusion, what I'm saying here is that instead of rejecting technology, recognize that we're in a symbiotic relationship with it, and defining what that relationship means, and using it to advance your own life, to advance the lives of your community, to advance the lives of our organism, mass organism, humanity, and the organism of the planet. Because it's very important that we start to learn how to use these things now, before we sort of blow ourselves up. Thank you.